is an official finishing move that was cut out of Marvel Spider-Man 2. And so is this one. That's right, folks. Some brand new animations and new finishing moves for Marvel Spider-Man 2 have surfaced. But before we get to all of that, of course, like always, what's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new Marvel Spider-Man 2 video here on the channel. And of course, like I always say, if you guys can, take a quick moment and leave a like on today's video. Thank you so very much for your continued support and your kindness. And without further ado, let's dive on in. Now, some data miners were able to actually locate some code within Marvel Spider-Man 2 that suggests, well, I guess I shouldn't say suggests, literally shows that there were indeed plans to include double finishers in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game. Now, one thing that I kind of had like a aha kind of moment, I don't know why. I was like certain that there were double finishers in the game, but then when I saw this animation and then I went back to the game, and I was like, wait, there really aren't any double finishers in the game. So I was kind of confused by that. I don't know why. It's like I somehow like tricked my mind into thinking that there were double finishers in the game and that these ones were just simply cut out. But apparently there aren't any double finishers in the game to begin with. So it is interesting to think that it basically confirms that there were indeed plans to include these in the game. And I guess before I even move on any further, let's take a look at these finishers themselves. And you know what? To make it even a little bit more fun, let me know down in the comment section below how you would rate each one of these three finishers. So let's kick things off with the first one, where essentially Spider-Man turns one of these thugs into a battering ram that he then launches right into another one. I think that's a pretty great one. That's probably my personal favorite. So I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. Now, the more I have watched the second finisher, where he basically does this like kick, where he's kicking one enemy, but then from that enemy, he launches into another one, the more I've liked this design. And I don't want to give it a 10 as well, because I feel like that would be lame. So I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10, but it is really, really cool and definitely screams Spider-Man in terms of agility and athleticism. And then last but certainly not least, we have this double web takedown, where essentially he creates a web in the right hand, a web in the left hand, and then he webs two enemies and smashes them together to cause them to bump into each other. Probably the most lame of the bunch, just because of the fact that it's very, very jittery, because obviously this is not a complete animation since it was cut from the full game. But man, seeing these finishers, it's yet another one of those little things that I kind of wish was included in Marvel Spider-Man 2. I've done a little bit of a replay of Marvel Spider-Man 1 and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, as well as Marvel Spider-Man 2 lately, just for a video that I'm working on in the future. But I will say one of the things that is interesting is just there really are a lot of small things that are missing from Marvel Spider-Man 2, like a much greater selection of gadgets. I really do enjoy having so many more gadgets in the original Marvel Spider-Man game than there are in Marvel Spider-Man 2. And these additional takedowns would have been a really great way to spruce up the combat and give us a unique experience in Marvel Spider-Man 2 that is unfortunately missing. I also feel like a lot of these finishers give Spider-Man a lot more personality. I think especially the second finisher just screams Spider-Man in terms of that sort of sweeping athleticism that we expect from Spidey, and I kind of wish that it was actually present in the game. And, well, I guess technically they could still include it in the game, because, at least to me, the animation on the first and the second move look really great. And so I wonder if it's something that they could actually patch into the game with the DLC, or with upcoming DLC, should that actually happen. Now, another exciting update for Marvel Spider-Man 2 is that Marvel Spider-Man 2 is finally getting some more merch, which means that the franchise is most definitely commercially viable and is successful. Because generally speaking, the times when we get brand new merchandise for video games, comics, whatever it might be, is usually coincided with some other events that make that franchise popular or rise back into the headlines. And so I'm hopeful that maybe this new wave of merchandise coincides with maybe an announcement of Marvel Spider-Man 2's DLC. But what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the second wave of Marvel Spider-Man 2 Funko Pops. There will be 6 of them in total, and they are Anti-Venom, who looks pretty great. Makes sense that they would include this one. I mean, after all, it's one of the most iconic moments and suits from the Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game. Now, on the opposite end of that, we have Miles Morales, the City Sound suit, And don't get me wrong, like, I think this is a perfectly decent looking suit, and it's definitely unique compared to some of the other ones, but out of all the suits that you could have selected in Marvel Spider-Man 2 for Miles, this is the one that you go with. I just feel like he has so many cooler suits that I would prefer to get a Funko Pop first ahead of this one. Then we have Harry Osborn in the black suit, which is interesting because I don't know why they still don't call it the symbiote suit, because obviously at this point in time, we all know that it is a symbiote that is attached to Harry when he's wearing the suit. So interesting that even allegedly on the packaging for the Funko Pop, it is called the black suit, not the symbiote suit. So I wonder why that is. But nevertheless, a really cool design, and I think this might be the only piece of official merchandise for this particular suit. Hopefully we'll get like a Marvel Legends for this, because I think that would be awesome. Next we have Scream, the mustard and ketchup monster, has arrived and ready to take down Peter Parker again. I wonder if this one will include a refrigerator accessory, so you could take down Spider-Man. Of course, if you've been keeping track, you would know that we've discussed 4, which means that there should still be 2 more Funko Pops on that list. But unfortunately, as of right now, we don't actually have images for those 2. So first we have the Peter Parker Advanced Suit 2.0, which will also be in its symbiote takeover suit. Keep in mind that this one is actually going to be an exclusive. I'm not really sure which store it will be exclusive to yet, but it will be an exclusive, which means it'll be a little bit more difficult to get. And speaking of difficult to get, this next pop is most definitely, at least if I had to predict, is going to be the most difficult to get, because this is going to be Venom with wings. Once again, this is going to be an exclusive, just like the previous one that we just talked about. And considering that this is Venom, considering that he's going to have his ridiculous wings attached, this is probably going to be one of those like deluxe pops. And I'm sure that this will probably be the one that will be the most difficult to chase down.
And give me back my friend!
We are your friend.
So there you guys have it. That is today's video for Marvel Spider-Man 2. If you guys enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like. And of course, I will hopefully catch each and every single one of you guys here on the next one. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. See you later, alligators.